homies. Danger. She smashed the homies. Danger. She smashed the homies. Danger. She smashed the homies. Got 3 girls, everyone's cute, but danger. She knocked the boots. Danger. She smashed the homies. Danger. She smashed the homies. Danger. She smashed the homies. Danger.
Oh, what's up, y'all? It's just Rondo. Welcome to the channel. We made it, y'all. We made it to the end of the road. Although we've come to the end of the road, y'all know the rest. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. We are here. I feel like I have reviewed 111 different shows, seasons of things, but we made it here to the end of this one. How y'all feeling? Y'all gonna miss Philly? I feel like somebody should send me a Philly cheesesteak sandwich because, you know, through all of the things I've been rocking with y'all, even like through the summertime. Some of y'all, you know, I was, you know, maybe not, you know, as nice as you would like me to be, but, you know, I ain't feeling so nice today, so let's get into it. Hey, El Cid. El Cid would like for y'all to like, share, and subscribe, and I would like for y'all to do the same. You know what? Yesterday I had a chat with Jay, and I had no idea that Jay was going to be so polarizing. Y'all, out of everyone that I've talked to, have had a lot to say about Jay in this last day. So shout out to Jay for sitting with me and yeah, getting y'all amped up. I mean, welcome to the new subscribers, and I have been working very hard to get y'all over here. Had I known it was gonna take Jay, I did not know that. But, you know, anyway, let's get into it. I'm talking about Jay. You know why? Because I'm tired of talking about Rose. I feel like this conversation about Rose has gone on and on and on and on and on, and I'm not even sure why. I, you know, kind of saw through Rose in the beginning. I felt like there was something not quite right with, you know, her energy. And now we all see what it is. But along the way, you know, she created a great fandom that has somehow turned on her. I don't know, you know, it is what it is. I'm not getting into, you know, the details of what those people are saying, you know, around the way out here in these internet streets. Some of them are loyal. I feel like some people, this is real talk. I feel like some women, based on what's up, not the queen of interviews, say what's up to my girl Shayna. As soon as I get done over here, I'm gonna run over to her channel because she's talking to Kiara, and Kiara got some things to say. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. So when you leave here, you could go check out Shayna_MCD and, you know, see what she's saying over there with Kiara. But anyway, we talking about Rose right this minute. I feel like based on the fact that she's a single mom and she has a partner, not a partner, he was an ex, the father of her child, because she's barely in her memory. And so I don't think there's any titles necessarily attached to this man, but he did, you know, bless her with a child. I feel like there's a lot of women out there that identify with her situation. So they're kind of see past, you know, the stuff that's right there in front of your face. Rose was being fake. At the end of the day, she could have came over here and been very real about what was going on with her, but she wants to present for you, you know, like I said, whatever you like, you know, coming to America. That's what she's giving. And it's not serving her well. And I don't want, like, any of us, I'm gonna include myself, out here to be jumping through hoops and doing all these things for making ourselves crazy over this toxic nonsense that she's gotten herself into. Is nuts. It's nuts. First of all, this whole social experiment is about meeting people and, you know, getting out dating if you're a single person, right? You're coming on this platform. I'm going to say it. I've said it before. I'm not coming on a platform without an agenda besides finding love, because come on. The likelihood of you finding love on a TV show. How many dating shows do we have? And in real life too. You date, you find someone, and you get in a relationship, and you're blessed if it lasts however long it lasts. People that come over here and talk about how they've been married for 20, who is it? Marceau on Love and Marriage Huntsville. He's been making Tisha miserable for damn near 20 years. And if that's what you want to sign up for, then, knock yourself out. It seems like Rose came over here saying that her life's mission was to be married. So she better rearrange her outline. Her outline needs to change. Like the married thing, put that last, because it's a whole lot of things on your outline that ain't there. Do your paper just say married? That's it? Because good grief. Anyway, have y'all seen these TikToks where the parents tell the kids to wash off the cotton candy, and they put the cotton candy in the water, and then it dissolves, obviously, because you can't put cotton candy in the water? That's what Rose's receipts is over here doing. They're just dissipating in the water, and we don't know what the hell she's talking about. So Rose apparently was over Cam's house. We got to finish off from where we started last week. She was over Cam's house. She was helping him pack his things. Why? What have you done for me lately? Have Cam taken you out anywhere? Have y'all done anything that resembles like him, making it seem like he's interested in having some type of relationship? Because last week you said he was wanting to be poly, and he was over here talking about doesn't want to be poly, but he's cheated in the past. So if he gets in a relationship, he would like to be monogamous until he doesn't feel like being monogamous, and then he's going to have a conversation with his partner. This is what the man said. They have a podcast called Toxic Perspective, and it's absolutely on point. This perspective is ridiculously toxic. He wants to be in a relationship, and when he feels like he might want to cheat, he's going to go ahead and have a conversation with you about this is what his feelings are. Now, I don't know what the outcome is supposed to be, because if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to be like, absolutely not. Like, what are we discussing here? Are we discussing that I want to be open? Or do I want to be single? Single. Just live the single life. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with living the single life and, or open relationship or whatever you want to call it? Why do y'all want to be over here trying to lock down with somebody who's not locked downable? And shockingly, he had 3 options all the way to the end. So that should have told you something, for goodness sake. Anyway, she's over here helping him pack, doing girlfriend things. And she went through his phone, which I think is nuts, because why are you going through his phone? He's not your man. He's somebody you're dating. And I low-key feel like Cam's messy ass was over here leaving the phone open because he wanted to get the windows bust out his car in his house. Now I'm kind of looking at Angie like, she did ask you, what did you do? And this is the type of thing, not necessarily this, because I feel like Rose, once again, is dead ass wrong. Why are you going through this man's phone? If you're feeling like you're not the only one, then do something else. And apparently you were. You were doing Hussein, which is fine. However, they know each other. And if you smash the homie, they're going to talk. And they're going to make it seem like what you're doing is way worse than whatever it is they're doing. So Cam is over here interacting with his ex. And she may or may not be pregnant. Now, the lady says she's seen a sonogram or something. I don't know why somebody would be sending you a sonogram from the past, because he said they had a pregnancy scare back in the day. So am I reminding you of your pregnancy scare? I don't know why I would be looking at that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, if his ex is pregnant, you're not his girlfriend. You're just somebody he's smashing, clearly in secret. And you come over here and allowed not one, but 2 men that did not choose you. Cam was literally sitting on this couch asking Sahara for another chance. What's up, Motown investors? What's true? Which thing is it that's true? I done said a lot of stuff, and the way my memory works, I probably won't remember what I said. I do know I feel like doesn't matter if this girl is pregnant or not pregnant. You're not his girl. And you going through somebody's phone that you're not, if you're feeling like going through the phone, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I have gone through a phone. I found exactly what it was I was looking for. So, enter at your own risk. And Cam, who's leaving their phones unlocked? Seriously? Don't smash the homie. Danger. Don't smash the homie. That's what Motown Investor said. They're going to talk. They're going to talk and they're going to make her out to be, this horrible person for over here sleeping with two people while they're sleeping with other people. And the crazy thing about it is, Rose, neither one of these guys came over here and told your business. You did that. You could have sat on this couch and we would have never known that you smashed either one of them, but you needed to have it out there because you wanted to, you were on a mission to rip them down, and it just didn't end well for you. It didn't end well for you. It wasn't a good look. It doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, why? I would have walked off that show and been like, okay, no niggas, where they at? She's cute as she could be. I've seen her pictures on the internet. She was looking fire. She could go down to wherever she hangs out with and interact with somebody other than these two because they said it's a no. Now, after it's all over with, they want to, listen, Coochie never caught a man, not for any type of permanent reason. You know what I'm saying? Coochie never caught a man. So, you give it to him. And then if they're not a good guy, then mission accomplished and they're out the door. Cam texted his ex that he's bored. That has to be so hurtful. You're over here throwing your heart. Why are you doing that? Why are you throwing your heart so hard at people that don't deserve it? You know what I'm saying? Sahara just sitting there looking. And this is the thing. We don't know whether she smashed his ass, but if she did, she didn't open her mouth. Caught him just not to keep him. I mean, because it takes way more than that. I feel like I know you know. Cam says she was having sex with Hussein at the same time. She says she wasn't. Again, it doesn't matter because now they're discussing it. They're talking about it with each other. Are they even friends? Well, I guess, they cool or whatever. Bros before hoes. Y'all better pick up the same philosophy. Can't trust these hoes. That's why it don't work that way. Like I said, at the end of the day, Rose has sex with two men that, did not choose her. And that's unfortunate. She said she never expected to leave alone. I was like, everybody basically left alone. This is a dating show. Like, what was your expectation? And she was over there on a live with Lex on Facebook saying that I never watched the show. I don't believe that. Even Jay said he watched the show after he got on there. Like, if you get on the show, you should go see what's up. So she never watched it. She just came on here looking for the love of her life. And these two guys just robbed her of her happily ever after. If y'all don't get out these fairy tale books, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. Happiness is in the moment. It's not ever after. It's in the moment. So you better enjoy those happy moments because there's going to be some rough ones. And you got to go through the rough ones to get to the happiness. So if that's what you want, then that's what a relationship is. And y'all act like walking down the aisle in a fairy tale dress is going to change the work. The work is always going to be there. So if you're working for 1 year, then you're working for 5 years, and you're working for 10, and you're working for 50. I feel like, and not necessarily like working to stay together necessarily. Like, I feel like a lot of people get in their sweet spot and then they grow into somebody different. Now you got to work on who the hell that is. Whew. I'm tired just talking about it. I think she needs to figure out, Rose does, why she throws herself in full throttle with people so quickly and, have given her no reason to do that. Like, he called you over to help him pack his stuff. No, don't call me on moving day. Pack your own shit. Stop it. That's girlfriend shit. Am I getting the key? What are we doing? No, I'm not helping you pack your shit. Call Alexa. Well, she probably can't because she's pregnant and she can't be lifting heavy boxes. So there that is. Hopefully Rose gets the help she needs. Who else? Oh, I know there's more. Oh, Eddie. There's a lot of extra. We didn't have to come here again, but here we are. They brought us over here to, finish this, cap this off. Eddie is a good-looking man with an ugly jacket. Now, he looks like he just came through. I don't know. Eddie, you should have left that jacket at the store. It's really ugly. It's ugly. And so this is a prime example of somebody who's good-looking, who doesn't have to try very hard. He literally looks like he came from somewhere. Eddie was somewhere, and he was like, oh, yeah, that reunion thing is tonight, too. I'm going to run through there. And he showed up, and they're all like, oh, Eddie. Yes, he looks like a lumberjack, but with an ugly pink one on. I'm not mad at the whole lumberjack vibe, not here, but what is the colors? I don't like it. You think the lumberjack wants a sugar mama? I think he wants a mattress, a maid, and a mule. Shout out to Erica De Niro. Elsie said he rolled over and that's what he looked like. He looked like, let me just grab my jacket, go over here and see what they're talking about. See, I don't even remember these girls because you know why he doesn't really remember? Because he's got a frequency. That's new. Haven't heard that. Frequency. They bees on a different frequency. So this is his frequency over here. Eddie got some luscious hair though. It's very luscious. Anyway. I feel like they could have actually kept Eddie for a little bit longer, just to see what was going to happen with him and Deanna. I don't think a whole lot was going to happen, but they would have had a deeper connection. Deanna's not interested in Khalil because Deanna has a type. What'd you say, Most Town Investor? You saw Ellie with Tracy Ellis Ross and Keke Palmer. See, Tracy Ellis Ross says she was out here, trying to engage with the young things because she's not interested in matrimony and nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, Rose, take a note from Tracy Ellis Ross. If you want to just do a little something, holla at Eddie. He got a frequency. See if you can find your way on it. Keke Palmer, this is definitely her type, but I feel like Keke, she might have a little Rose in her. You know what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going? Do you feel like Keke might be having a little bit of Rose in her? She'll get her clutches on Eddie and then be crashing out because then we'll all see it on the internet because that's what they do over there. Yeah, we could have had a chance to see the connection between Deanna and Eddie just a little bit, but Deanna has a type. And it's like, I call your name, girl, and it eases the pain. You got to look like a DeBarge. And then, she'll kind of give you a little bit of attention. Otherwise, don't come over here. That's why her and Khalil didn't work out, because he's handsome, but he's not a DeBarge. I don't really think much would have come out of the relationship with Deanna and Eddie because he's kind of barbaric. And I don't see her. She's a firewoman, firefighter. She got to keep, her eye focus on her work. She does not have time to be cooking and cleaning for you, Eddie. Hire a housekeeper. She probably got one. What'd you say, Shayna? Keke gives pick me. She does. I feel like she'd be, Eddie be trying to get her off the frequency, because she'd be over there doing too much. But I think it's funny that that's what he's doing, and he's literally doing nothing. Meanwhile, some people are stuffed in clothes that are way too tight and, with their belly button out, looking a fool, sweating all over everything. Anyway, he had a moment with Coley. They all like Coley, and they don't want to say what the truth is, but the truth is Coley is a little bit dingy, like Chrissy Snow. So if you don't know who is Chrissy Snow's Three's Company, and look it up, because I don't have time to get into the descriptions, but she's given very much Chrissy Snow, and just very lovable and sweet and kind of dingy. But, kind of sometimes in tune with things. Go watch a couple few reruns of Three's Company, and then you'll know, what Christy Snow is, and you'll say, yeah, Hillary Banks, that kind of energy. He mentioned women being breadwinners, which makes me think he wants to be a kept man. He did say that, but he's also he's a contractor, so he can make money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he just doesn't want to share his. He wants to be with a woman that's not just looking to be taken care of, maybe. I'm not, in his pockets. You look at those, he said he's a contractor. Contractors make money. So, there's that. I just think, yeah, he wants a woman who can keep herself, so it won't be his responsibility necessarily. He's got a kid already, so I don't know that he would be looking to have any. Maybe it'd be shame not to go ahead and make him at least one more, Eddie. He said he's a girl dad. I remember in the very beginning, he's got a 9-year-old daughter. So that's part of where his time is going to go. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, that he's over there doing. We just didn't really get a whole lot about Eddie, what his life is like. Is he talking to anybody? Have anybody talked to Eddie? I haven't. I'm tired, child. He also had a connection with Angie. They liked Angie, but that red dress had everybody like, when you go into a party and a mixer, find you put on your red dress, because all of these boys said they noticed Angie in her red dress. Angie said he wasn't doing enough. Well, girl, you said you do everything, so I feel like that could have been a match. Like, what do you do everything? And so you even drove yourself to the hospital in labor. This might have been a good thing, Angie, but they sent him home. Angie was connected too much too, because Angie and Cam, good thing she mentioned that getting the busted the windows out, because, he put that like on the back burner real quick. Angie and Hussein, I don't know what they're doing over there, but she said she was over here trying to go on a date with Khalil. So, Khalil, come to the front. Khalil was over here questioning True about where her, eggs might be, and if they got 5 years on them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not interested in getting into marriage and I mean, not marriage, but having children for the next 5 years. You had the lady all bent out of shape because she didn't want to be forced to lie about her age, but she did it anyway. Now he's over here talking about he gonna take out Angie, and she's 40. So she wants more children, but in 5 years, is she gonna want to do it? I'm not saying she can't, but I'm talking about not even just what your body can physically do, because women have been older. How old was Kenya? 50 when she had her baby. People always point to Kenya and Halle Berry, but they also have housekeepers and employees and things. They don't have to go to work at a bar and then come home and take care of a baby and have 10 other siblings plus your parents leaning on you for different things. Angie come with a lot. Khalil. So stop playing. Y'all over here acting like you going on a date. Eddie didn't have a connection with Rose, but she sure over here telling his business. She said the people said he was out in the streets with a girlfriend. He said he did not have a girlfriend. He still doesn't have a girlfriend. He just has frequencies. Kenya Moore froze her eggs. Janet Jackson was 50. Yeah, but they carried their kid. Well, I know Kenya did. I don't know what Janet be over there doing, but Kenya like physically carried her baby, as far as, we seen her be pregnant. By 50, though, you don't have the same kind of energy it takes for little kids. You got 15 grandkids on ice. Well, when they thaw them out, you won't be responsible for it, and you get to be granny. That's where I am now. I am granny. I get to get all the hugs and kisses and do the things and then send them back. Even if he has a stinky diaper, I'll change a stinky diaper. But I'm saying, if I don't want to, I just say, hey, take your baby. He's smelly. Clean him up and bring him back. That's the difference between being a granny and a mama. But Angie is 40. So, that's not too old to have a baby. But I feel like when you're 40, you got to have one now, not 5 years from now. Yeah, what's this girl? Rose. Rose over here. She came over here just to say that Eddie had a girlfriend. Eddie said he got a frequency. And I say, y'all niggas will make up anything. Frequency. What does that mean? That mean he outside, I guess. I can keep up. You ain't gonna trick me by changing the words around. And he also feels like Deanna can fit on his frequency because she doesn't want to talk to anyone really. And she doesn't really want to be around you very much because she's focused on her work. So there's that. Also, did I talk about that anywhere? No, I just start getting straight to the things. Deanna, she was over on Kojo's channel. She did an interview with Kojo, and she admitted that she's not ready for love. She says she's been traumatized by her past, and that's a very honest answer. I feel like sometimes when you've been hurt by somebody, some people, dive into their work and let that be their focus. Her and Hussein did not look like each other at all. Their energy was very much off. She said when they were at the block party, somebody said something. He looked at her. He gave her a look. Then when they got over there to horseback riding, she asked him what was he looking at her about. And he said he doesn't know what she's talking about. And that irritated her. She be making strikes. You don't know about the strikes. She be making strikes in the background. And the next thing you know, there's, a situation. Hussein and Deanna's energy is explosive. They, not a match. Don't even need to engage with each other. But the whole fireman conversation, I feel like being a fireman is definitely more important than having a desk job. Like being a surgeon and you know what I'm saying? Tommy said a pilot. Those are all very important jobs. I don't think Hussein, for whatever reason, I don't think he was saying at all that you need to be running out of a fire and text or call your person. That's not what that was. He was just saying through the course of your day, whether you have a regular job or whether you have an important job. I'm not speaking for Hussein. That's how I understood it. There's still time to acknowledge your person. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm thinking about you text. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? And when you're emotionally in a fight with your person, obviously you won't be texting them, but you're still going to be in your head about it. Like you can be thinking about, you saw the phone and the ex-girlfriend's got a pregnancy test or ultrasound or whatever this girl Rose was over there saying. When you go to work, that's going to be on your mind, whether you texting or not. Deanna don't want that man. Which one? She definitely doesn't want Hussein because he doesn't look like a DeBarge. That's her requirement. But I don't think she's ready for any, the things that she was saying was saying, I'm not interested in being in a relationship. If you if I don't talk to you until Wednesday or Thursday, we're not in, building a relationship. You're just my homie that I, hook up with from time to time. She get you on a frequency. I think that's perfect for her until she makes the decision. Her job is very important. It's very stressful. I get that. But when you want to start building relationships, you got to figure out what the balance is. So, dang, I can't hear from you until you get off from work. And then you're not going to talk to me and you're going to say, I'll just tell you about the work after, afterwards. I don't want to tell you about my day right now. Hey, Tina. We just over here wrapping it up with these ready to love situation. Let's get into the folks. Did I forget anybody over here? No, that's it. Well, this certainly was a problem. I had no idea was going to be such a problem, but apparently it is. Kiara and Jay. Jay walked in and said Kiara was everything he was looking for. He said it felt like love at first sight. That's what it felt like to us to some extent. Deanna don't want Hussein. I'm just reading the chat. What does this say? This else said. Deanna don't want Hussein because she ain't want to talk to him. Or he already having rose. I mean, I don't think they knew about him having the rose petals, but yeah, their energy, like honestly, I guess you know how you just meet some people and you just don't click. They just did not click. They didn't even need to, be in the same space together. Um, yeah. So Jay said it felt like love at first sight, and then for us, when we first met them, we were like, oh, they seem like they like each other, like for real, like it was a click. They saw it, you felt it, we felt it. Um, Then Tommy brings up the fight at the getaway. He's like, we thought y'all were all in. And then next thing you know, you get down to the getaway. Cause that's where they were just my man, my man, my man. And she was bae. Every time he seen her, hey, it's bae, hey, bae, hey, bae. So there was a lot of cheesing and smiling. And we were like shipping them because we didn't have nothing else to go. When I say we, I mean me. Anyway, what had happened? They got down to the getaway. And Jay was being very touchy-feely with Sahara. I talked to Jay. He's standing on business with this. He wants us all to believe that that was not inappropriate. Even though we all know some people don't think it's inappropriate. I think it's just guys. I don't think there's any girls in here that don't feel like that wasn't inappropriate. If you're courting me and we're bae and my man and this is what it is, then at the very least, even if you're not my boyfriend, what's his name? Eddie didn't even want to kiss Coley because Deanna and Angie were standing there. See how that works? He was telling her, girl, we're not about to do all that. Like maybe if we were like outside after work, but not here in front of these other two people that I have a connection with. So, it's real simple. If I like somebody, especially somebody who just had a conversation with me that said, listen, when we go in here, I don't want any shit. I don't want you to be doing stuff that's going to make me look crazy. At this point, we're supposed to be focusing on this connection. And so he was already told. He told me that he thought she meant sex. He told me that he thought she meant having sex secretly in these rooms. Come on, cut that out. You know better than that. If I'm, your person that you're trying to court, then you're going to make sure my feelings aren't hurt. And my feelings are going to be hurt if I see you being close, touchy-feely with someone that's not me. So I'm going to stand on business too. I feel like that was out of pocket. It was out of pocket. But we don't have to go back and forth because, you feel how you feel. You feel, what they say, perception is reality. I don't think, I don't think that's what that was. One thing I can't stand is when somebody is playing in my face. And I feel like, she crashed out for that reason because you're playing. If you would, at some point, you could have said, like, yes, Sahara's a connection. Nothing like what we have, but, she's a connection. Say that. Don't say she knew. A lot of assumptions being made about what people knew. And then, that's how we end up here. If the tables were turned, he would have been like, what's up with that? You moving different. The kind of things that niggas be saying when you try to, give them a dose of their own medicine. I didn't know you were kicking it with him. How long has this been going on now? He's saying, he don't care. I don't care. It's part of the process. I would have just assumed that she was talking to other people. And I say, if you don't care, if you see me like wrapped around another nigga, then you don't care. Then you really just don't care. So for me, that's a problem too. I need you to care. I wouldn't probably be doing that because I don't make those types of decisions. If I'm trying to talk to somebody I like, I'm not good. I'm gonna move in a way that I feel like it's not gonna be concerning to them. Oh, Tina got an opinion. Well, I feel like, people know what they're doing and then try to, convince you that they don't. I think that's a man thing. It's like, what you call it? Magician shit. David Copperfield type shit. He said she knew from the beginning that he was a flirt. Again, You could be a flirt, but now you're trying to pursue something that you claim was love at first sight. So if that's the case, then you're going to have to dial it down. Don't be flirt. You can be friendly, but flirting is different. Keep your hands to yourself. I just think it's really easy to be respectful to somebody that you like. Jay is no longer her man, her man, her man. Oh, Motown investor. I mean, it's interesting. He didn't say group home. He said he was in a military academy away from home. So I don't know. I've never experienced that. I know that you don't see a lot. So you have to depend on whoever's running the academy. Hard-headed ninja. They are hard-headed. Every last one of them. All of these ready to love and out and beyond. They come that way, hard-headed. Anyway, after the show, he said he needed a break. He said a week or a month. I could see having a break. In talking to him, like he said he had been out of, taken off from work to do this, and he's got kids, and his kids were over his parents' house. So when you talk about reality, yes, a week. Give me a week or so to like get back in order. I do not think this lady was looking to go out every day. You got to eat. We can't go to lunch or something or do something. You want to lay up and talk about, our hopes and dreams in life. And that's cool, but we can't lay up every night. Ain't nobody laying up for a month. I think that expectation is too much. But, he did say he needed to get back to work and get his money up. And that makes sense. Like, we've been over here. I'm out of work. You got things that you got to take care of. So it makes sense to be like, let me, we'll really get it in. Like, once I get back, to my norm. But we could go to lunch or something. I feel like there could be a compromise. So, if you really want it, then you're going to compromise. I feel like laying up is definitely a compromise. But you said they have all kinds of names for group homes. Like I said, I've never experienced it. So for him, he said it wasn't a negative experience. That's all I could go by. It's not, most of our norm, but child, I can't call it. Yeah, I don't think she thought they were going out every night. So I feel like that's a bit of an exaggeration. Um, at the end of it all, Kiara understands that they don't want the same things. They don't match up in what what their desires are in terms of how they want to live their life. And you don't know that while you're in the ready to love bubble. One thing I will say is because they chose each other, they got to go on dates because everybody else was going on dates that we didn't see. I feel like they, according to him, they mostly dated each other. So that's a time to get to know each other, but still like you're filming and it's different. It's not the same thing as real life dating. So for God's sakes, you could have found time to do something if that's what you wanted to do. If y'all are finding out that you're not really matched as much as you thought you were, then I can see why you would kind of be backing off a little bit from a week to a month. Don't matter because she moved on like Maya, child. She said she got a man. He needed to reset. What'd you say, Felicia? He needed a month is a long time. That's what I said. I can see like you get home, couple weeks. You don't even have to do anything elaborate, but you can like go out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta eat. So, and I feel like this happens in a lot of relationships. The guys do what they need to do to get you like to laid up, and then they don't want to do nothing no more. And you have to be scheduling date nights and things because they just assume not. Like Tommy said, he got to get up and take his wife out. And I don't think it's every night, but I do think most people have a date night once or twice a month. I don't think that's asking too much. like I said, where I live here in Kissimmee, child, there's so many things that you could do. This, you know what I'm saying? I could go to Gatorland if I want to, or I could just take a walk through my neighborhood and look at the gators that live over here. I'm just saying, you can be creative. I'm sure there's things to do in Philadelphia that, just leaving the house. She's got kids too. So if you're dating, you want to, get away and do some grown folks things. Apparently, she's got a man to do that with. He's not her man. He's just her one man, her man. And so, yeah, I think that's cool. I don't know if they're still together, but obviously, if y'all are not a match, then there's no point in, hanging around. I talked about Deanna being a firefighter. Can I say this about Deanna, though? She's a beautiful lady in a terrible wig. I don't know why she made that choice. Let's go back over here for a second. What the heck? And that's a pretty color dress. I'm not mad at the dress. I was kind of irritated by her sitting on the couch like that. Like, sit up, girl. You leaned all over in that ugly wig. Oh, it's terrible. She thinks it's hot, so it's none of my business. What'd you say, Felicia? If he suggested a lunch date versus a dinner date of her choosing, do you think she would have been open to that? I think she would, depending on where you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I just get a chance to, like I said, put on a dress, go somewhere, have a glass of wine, talk to my, prospective partner and, get to know each other away from kids. I think she would have. He said laid up. He said he wanted to be laid up. That's not the same. For goodness sakes, we're not finna lay up for a month. Kiara knew exactly what she was talking about last night before. I didn't see it. Last night on the live? Yes, women have patience. See, Sahara don't. Hey, Karen. Sahara was like, get to it. Don't play with me. And they thought she was a problem. Anyway, y'all chat amongst yourselves. I'm getting off track. I already talked about Deanna and Hussein and Eddie and all of that. I wish she would get rid of that wig. That's for sure. Shanice. Where's Shanice? Ciao. Shanice is another one. I don't really understand her. She gets naked to heal her trauma. So if somebody explain that to me because I don't understand. She was over here getting naked for Cisco. He was writing his name and put him. They wear the same bra size. Look at them. They can switch shirts together. He got big old titties. She got big old titties. She's not sweaty. He's very sweaty. She's not sweaty. Cisco's sitting up here in this too little jacket with no shirt on. He didn't have any shirt money. Good grief. Shanice gives you weird vibes. It's something going on there. When she talks about having trauma from being abused, she said physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so in order to like make her way through that, she decided she wanted to get naked for strangers. That's wild. I don't want to be judging her. I just think that's interesting. She says Cisco was the best person to do it with because he's so kind. He wasn't kind over his podcast talking about how much he hates fat women and bigger, all that stuff he was saying. They keep calling him a great man, and I'm keep saying where, how. Yeah, I've seen that. Cisco's married now. Congratulations on your life. She doesn't look like she's probably gonna be delivering any babies. I'm not judging that lady, but she looked old enough, like his age. Anyway, Taye wasn't feeling that naked date. And I can't even put that one on him. As much as he gets on my nerves, he did not know that that lady was going to come over there and have her cootie cat out. So, what was the man supposed to do besides participate? Shanice and Coley letting everything hang out. Well, I had to go back and look because Coley, I was like, are those brand new? She's so little. She looked like she might topple over with those things. I don't know what Coley be on. You talking to Elsid. Anyway, I don't really take Fritz all that serious either. Like she says, this is her new relationship. I think Fritz really doesn't give a care. I think he's over here just doing, what you thought they were new. Maybe she got a re-up. She talking about Coley's tatas. They just look so, you know how when they first get done, they look like they hurt. That's what it was giving. So yeah, I don't know about her and Fritz. I guess I don't believe it, but what's your name? Rose, poor thing. Rose said Fritz was her first choice. He was her first connection. And then they broke it off, and here he is with Shanice. The naked lady. Don't start getting naked, Rose. Just pause. Just back up. Just hold on. Just stop. Taye looks beautiful. Let's get to Taye. We almost at the end. Child, then we'll be free until Detroit. Taye looks beautiful. I really like her dress. I didn't talk about everybody's dress, but I really like her dress. Her hair looks, she's one of the few ladies who hasn't been hit by humidity. I thought that Kiara looked pretty too. I just wish that Kiara would have put her hair in a bun. If she had a chignon, and I like to say chignon, if she had a chignon and her hair was just pulled back tight in a bun, it would have been perfect. But her hair looked like it might have got hit by the humidity monster. A couple few of them in there is dealing with some humidity issues. Taye and Shanice are not. They're humidity free. I told y'all, this man sitting up here looking like baby Huey. The jacket is too little. His titty balls is about to jump out. His pants is too tight. Like, he looks like baby Huey. Have you ever seen The Rock in a suit? The Rock is a big old dude, just like Cisco. And he, looks very good in a suit. And you could put on a shirt. Like, this man has always got his chest out. And I'm like, oh my God, why? Why, Lord, why? I knew that was going to be a problem when he first got here. I didn't know I was going to always have to look at it. You think Taye is best dressed? I would agree with that. She made up for that dress that she wore down to the stairs, but since she was going to the stairs with a clown, I guess why waste a good outfit? They're not together. Taye was concerned about his stability issues. I don't know when she discovered that because they've always been there. He'd been telling stories. He was married, and then when he wasn't married, he was homeless, and he came over here, and he had to stay in a room with no car. He done came up now. Ching, ching. He got the keys to the car and the crib. That's how you do it. Hopefully that lady he married gets him some suits that fit, or, a dress shirt or something. He sweats like a hog. And you know what? He had the audacity to be sitting over there talking about somebody being big and fat and sweaty, and all we've seen him do is sweat. The nerve. Anyway, I don't know what the revelation was for Taye because we knew his broke ass was just, again, she keeps calling him a great man. I hate it because he's absolutely not. Him and his friend Cam are jerks. So there's that. But, I guess he knows how to put on a good front for people when he needs to. He's an actor. He knows how to act. He act like he got a job, but he really don't. He came over here. When he first came over here, he said, you think she got a prenup? I don't know. Sometimes there's women out here that be rushing over here to get up under some sweaty man with some big man titties. Tay wasn't interested in doing that. I don't care when her revelation was, but I'm glad she had it. When he first got here, he said he left his relationship because she was being too possessive and she didn't like him getting haircuts. She was wondering why he was doing that. She was probably wondering why you out here spending money on haircuts and the light bill ain't been paid. Child, sounds like you got extra. Where you get haircut money from? That's probably how that conversation went. He trying to make it seem like she was being possessive. She was wondering what the hell. Who bought you a haircut? Anyway, she said this man be over here quitting jobs frequently. He'll get a job and then he'll quit his job for modeling. Man, you grown. He's not old, but he's getting past modeling age, and he's very handsome. There's no doubt about that. But maybe he should find some clothes to put on. Nobody want to look at that all the time. And being an actor is, it's not like, it's a dream. It's a dream that you should absolutely follow if that's what you want to do. But it reminds me of The Pursuit of Happiness and how Will Smith walked around doctors' offices trying to sell that antiquated machine instead of just dumping that shit and getting a job, having his kid live in a bus station. He don't have to worry about having no kids. Like I said, I don't think this lady is over here fertilizing eggs. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I mean, she could have them frozen. I'm not age shaming her. I'm just saying she's not like young like Tay. She said he checks all her other boxes. I would love to be able to ask her what those boxes are. Eddie in the back like, that's perfect. Why should she go along with that? Deanna has to explain to him like a person without a job should go get a job in a car before they're pursuing a relationship, Eddie. He might not even make it to the one date he just made. Child. Talking about he like to conversate. You can conversate, Eddie, or you can converse. It's up to you. Well, Shayna, let's get on it. Let's find out. Like, what are the other boxes that he's over there checking? I got some boxes. He checks. Get on my nerves, irritated, can't stand him, don't want to look at him. I got a whole bunch of boxes he checks. Jobless, maybe. I don't know. He got irritated because she said he sounds like somebody that mooches off of women. And then he shows up married. So anyway, I didn't like this. Tay took the blame for sabotaging the relationship. You didn't sabotage anything. You chose yourself. Sahara, tell her she chose herself. She chose herself. You don't have to lower your standards. Kiara, you do not have to lower your standards. If this man ain't meeting your standards, then you just move on. You do not have to take the blame for not choosing somebody who's not meeting your standards. And I don't feel like having a job in a dress shirt is too much to ask, Cisco. She said he's an amazing man. I want her to stop saying that. I'm going to need some actual, like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me 3 amazing things about him. He's got nice hair. That's 1. Now you can figure out the other 4. Child, I don't know what he's explaining or why he's in his feelings, and you irritated because somebody is, holding you to, the most minuscule basic thing. How are you going to have children if you can't afford them? This lady is young and doesn't really need to waste her time on somebody who, so what does that look like? I'm going to sit up here, I'm going to have some kids, and we're going to have a nice place, and then I'll be setting up my life like, clearly it won't be, are we doing 50-50? What are we doing over here? And then I'm like thinking that you are going to pay at least half of the expenses around here, and then you quit your job because you want to go model somewhere. They're having, what do you call it? Geriatric model search down to the, Fox Theater. I don't know. I think Tay is smart. Um, I I think a lot of times people are smart. She's a nurse. She says she spent a lot of time in school. I think a lot of times people are smart, but they don't really spend a lot of time dating, and because the last man cheated. So maybe she should heal from that. And she's picking something that she thinks is different. Because if a man is broke down and he's sitting over here telling her how he thrives so much in a relationship, that's how guys from jail end up. Because you're thinking he's going to be so appreciative of you, and then he ends up just taking advantage. I won't be hearing, the love story that he got going on in his life now, but good for him, I guess. Here come Tommy. Do you think y'all can repair things? No, Tommy. They do not need to repair things. Well, for what? Why is Tommy so adamant about finding somebody to take care of Cisco? Is that one of his wife's friends? He met them. She looked like she'd be in the gym, so they have that in common. So she can be at the gym, keeping an eye on him, making sure he's not finding a new sugar mama to fund his life. I feel like if Tay has moved on from Cisco, the problem is solved. We don't want that. And I mean, honestly, I don't know enough about Khalil. We keep saying Khalil, Khalil, Khalil. I don't know enough about him. He seems like a nice enough guy. He has his, act together. He's good looking. So I don't know what y'all are doing, but, can somebody talk to Khalil? What's going on? Khalil over here talking about he's finna date Angie. Some of your options, some of your choices are questionable too, Khalil. So next we got Detroit, and I'm definitely here for Detroit because that's where I came up around the Detroit metro area. Looking forward to that. Now y'all thought that Philly was real. I know they're gonna be really real over here in the D. So yeah, they're coming back in the fall, and we are out of Philly. It's a beautiful thing. They're both in the same frat. Tommy and what's this man, Cisco? Well, hell, why don't Tommy pay his bills then? Shoot, why don't Tommy get him a gig? I guess he got him this one. That means nothing to me. I went to fashion school, so I didn't pledge anything. The people that I do know that are Greek, though, are successful people with careers and things. I'm just saying. Woo, child. Tomorrow, 7:00, I'm going to have a little conversation with Kiara. So y'all come back tomorrow because she has some things to clear up about the things that were said about her last night. So yeah, I want to hear her side of the story. In the meantime, y'all like the video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.